What's up, gang? It's Chris, and you'll never guess what I've been doing recently. I moved to the great state of Ohio, and it's like the best thing that's ever happened to me. And the libraries here are amazing. And what I've been doing is I've been checking out audiobooks on CD and listening to them on my daily commute. So I was watching some movie that I borrowed from the library with my kid. It might have been Paddington or something. There was a trailer for The Giver, and I was like, this looks really dystopian and really cool. And I actually owned the book, The Giver. It was something that I think I got in college for like one of my great books classes or something. Never read it. I don't know why. So didn't read it, but then I was like, this trailer sold me. I was hooked. I was like, I have to see this, but before I see it, let me listen to the book. So I borrowed the audiobook on CD, listened to The Giver, and then I was like, oh, it's part of a four-part quartet, The Giver Quartet. There's The Giver, there's Gathering Blue, there's The Messenger, and there's Sun, written by Lois Lowry. And I absolutely loved The Giver. I loved all of them. I know a lot of fans of The Giver did not like the following three books, but I thought that they were like a really good continuation. Um, I liked, I so the problem that most people have is the end of this is very open-ended, and the fact that the story continues on means that the ending of this is one thing. So I understand where people have a problem with the other three books existing, but I love that the universe continues on. So this is a very dystopian thing. You know that I love my dystopian movies. Very big sci-fi, dystopia nerd. So in this guy, I don't even know who this is. Brenton Thwaites is he plays Jonas. So this is called The Giver. In this, Jeff Bridges plays The Giver, and Jonas is the receiver of memory. And then the other person here, we have Meryl Streep, and she plays the I don't know, somebody on like the what's it called? She's like a community elder. I forget what they're called. I don't know. My brain's not working because I'm drinking Nutella. I'm not drinking Nutella. I'll just give like a brief synopsis of the movie versus the book. And I was not like a huge fan of the movie. I gotta be honest. I loved the book, and I feel like there's actually a lot of special features. This is the Blu-ray that I borrowed from the old abandoned library. There's a lot of special features. There's Jeff Bridges presents the original script reading featuring Lloyd Bridges, Making the Giver from page to screen, Jonas's harrowing journey, extended scene, press conference with the filmmakers and cast, Ordinary Human featurette with One Republic's Ryan Tedder. Who that is, I don't know. Author Lois Lowry on The Giver, and bonus study guide. So I listened to the author talk about this. The author's super woke, and you will know that if you listen to this. Taylor Swift also makes an acting premiere in this. She plays Jeff Bridges' daughter. So basically, in the book, Jonas is he's the receiver of information. In the book, he starts out as a normal. The whole thing is, in this community, in this dystopian world, it's separated from the rest of the world. There's different communities, and this community is partitioned off. In the book, it is separated by a river. In the movie, it's separated by a giant cliff. And the book is super anytime. It may be in the 1800s, it could be today. There's not really a lot of mention of technology, whereas the movie, it has the technology of today. It has holograms, it has drones, it has a lot of surveillance. There is really high-tech present day stuff in this. And what year is this from? 2014, I think, 2013, 2014. So it's, 10 years ago at this point, but it is very high tech for that time. It's pretty on par with the technology we have today. So in the movie, Jonas is the main character. He starts out being different. He starts out, the world is gray, the world is uniform, everything is, kind of just boring. And in the movie, he starts out as seeing different colors. He can see beyond. It takes a lot of time for that to establish in the book. Obviously, it's a book. There's more details in the movie. But the movie just kind of rushes things along. What I didn't like about this, he has a friend. He has a couple friends. He has a friend, he has like a love interest, basically, and he has a friend named Asher. The girl, I don't remember her name, in the movie, he kind of relies on the girl. So basically, they have parental units. They have a ceremony of 12. So whenever you are age 12, you are assigned by the village elders the job that you're going to have for the rest of your life. So everyone's worried about what job they get. And he is basically skipped over. The book and movie are very similar in the ceremony. So he is skipped over, and it's like, why was Jonas skipped? He is assigned to be the receiver of memory. So it's a special thing. Nobody knows what it means. No, he doesn't know what it means. But there's a really special world that they set up. In this world, so in the book, there's not the surveillance element, like people being able to see into your house via video screen, but they have basically like a Nazi type thing set up where you report on your own family. So you have a family unit. There are, one of the jobs that's assigned is birthing mother. So at age 12, girls will be assigned birthing mother, and then whenever they turn 14, they will be inseminated and they will have to give birth. They have 3 babies and then they are done, and then they have to go work the fields or whatever. So you can apply to be married and you can apply to be assigned children, but you can never have children because once you hit puberty, you have to report your dreams to your family unit. So once you start having sexual dreams, then they're like, your parental units start saying, you have to take your pills. You need some saltpeter. You are going through puberty. So they start taking these pills whenever they go through puberty, and they just never stop. In the movie, the pills are injections that they have to take, and Jonas is super creative, and he like injects an apple instead of taking it to avoid taking his medicine. But in both stories, he starts developing feelings. The drugs suppress your feelings, they suppress your sexual urges, and Jonas starts having both. Now in the movie, they really force this like love element. In the book, Jonas asks his parental units, do you love me? And they're like, that's indescriptive language. That's not descriptive enough. And in the movie, that does happen. That same scene happens, and Katie Holmes is his mother in this, and she's a total bee. She's the type of person that would definitely throw you under the bus to the Gestapo. So, and then his dad, who was his dad played by? I do not remember, but his dad was super chill, even though he kills babies. His dad, I don't remember his name, but he is assigned to be a nurturer. So there's young children, which are infants from 0 to 1. And these people, the nurturers, watch the newborn babies. The birthing mother gives birth, and then the nurturer takes over and starts watching the baby. So there's never a moment where they bond with the mother. That the whole thing is like separate. So the nurturers are assigned to take care of the babies at different ages. And Jonas, whenever he begins his his receiver training, and basically all of the memories of the world, what it used to be, what it is now, the memories of the first memory he's given is of snow. So the giver gives him the memory of sledding down a hill in the snow. Things like that don't exist in this world because weather is controlled, because there are no hills, because there's no weather. Everything is always the same weather. Everything is flat. Everything is uniform. It's all controlled. So the giver gives him this memory of something from the distant past, and the giver holds this memory because humankind, the community, can't handle the memory. So somehow, I don't know if it's a supernatural thing, but the giver is the keeper of this memory, and by him holding the memory, society doesn't have the memory anymore. So they are totally ignorant of this thing ever existing. They don't know colors. They don't see colors because they got rid of color to make everything the same. Everybody dresses the same. Everybody wears their hair the same. It's all very uniform. There's this baby that's in the nurturing unit, and he's not thriving. He doesn't sleep through the night. So the dad takes him home, which is very against the protocol, but he gets approval to do it. They don't call these babies by their names. They are called numbers. So the first baby born in this year is number 1, and then number 2, and so on. So this is number 30 something. His name's Gabriel. So he brings home Gabe, and Jonas and the whole family becomes attached to him, but Jonas is able to calm Gabriel. He puts his hand on him. First of all, that's something different too. So in the book, the giver gives the memory. Jonas gets freaking nude. Not really. He takes his shirt off and he lays chest down on a bed. He lays prone on a bed, and the giver puts his hands on him. It's a little weird. And that's how he transfers the memories. It's very nude, and he transfers the memories that way. In the book, they just get really close. He's sitting fully clothed in a chair. Nothing weird about that. So they just put their hand on them to transmit the memories. So Jonas begins transmitting the memories to Gabriel, the little tiny baby that can't sleep. He calms him down with the memories. So it's interesting because now there's like a connection between Jonas and Gabriel, the baby. And one time when Jonas is at the giver's place, by the way, the giver is the only person in this community that's allowed to have access to books, really. So Jonas is at the giver's place, and he asked to see the releases. So they're always talking about releases. This person got released from the community. They weren't, they weren't happy in their position. They got released, or they were really old and they just got released from the community. And from like the first time they mentioned it, I was like, well, that means they're getting euthanized. And that's exactly what it meant. It meant they're getting euthanized. So the dad in the nurturing unit said that there were these twins, and he had to release one. So Jonas asked to see the releases because as the receiver of memories, he had special privileges. He got to see things that normal citizens didn't get to see. So he asked to see the video of the release of the twin. Why they released the twin? Because you can't have two people that are the same. It's too confusing. So he witnessed the video of his dad releasing the twin baby, and he definitely injected the baby with a lethal toxin, and the baby died, and he put him in a box, and he put the box into a chute. So Jonas had a problem with that. He didn't like that his dad was just killing babies. But I mean, is that really bad? Because, you can kill babies whenever they're in the womb, so why can't you kill them whenever they're out of the womb if you just don't like what they are, right? So Jonas realizes that his dad's a baby killer. He has no emotion. Nobody has any emotion. Nobody is capable of loving one another. And he realizes that Gabriel is going to be released because he is not able to cope. He is still not sleeping through the night, and he is not adjusting. So Gabriel is scheduled to be released, and Jonas cannot handle that. He does not want Gabriel to be killed by his own father. So he escapes from the community with Gabriel. And what happens in both the book and the movie is Jonas leaves, he sleds, he finds a sled, he is traveling and he's weathered, and he finds a sled and he sleds down this hill and he sees a house with Christmas lights, and that's it. Now, in the book, it really emphasizes the fact that he is on a trek, and they are both starving, they are both within inches of death, and then they're clinging to life by a thread, and then they sled down this hill and they find a house with Christmas lights, and it's warm and happy and everything's fine, and that's the end of the book. And everybody thinks it's open-ended because they're like, well, does it mean they actually died? I thought that. I read it and I was like, they died. I take this as they are dead. This is like an otherworldly thing. They are gone because they were in such dire straits and they couldn't survive anymore. The other 3 books in the quartet prove that to be wrong. And I highly suggest them. Jonas goes on to basically become the leader of this community. It's very interesting. It gives more information about the birthing mothers. It gives more information about, it goes really into detail on people with disabilities. There's a whole community of people with disabilities, people that are blind, people that are amputees, people that just have different disabilities, whatever they might be. They help each other out, and I'm like, this is why the author is clearly liberal. Just seeing the best in everybody, thinking that people can exist in that capacity. Jonas escapes on his own, 100% alone. He doesn't confide in anybody about his receiver training. He doesn't get anybody's help to leave. He is very alone. The Giver is the only person that he has in his life. In the movie, he 100% relies on his love interest. They goof off and do weird things together. Meryl Streep thinks that he is like some kind of a harm to the community, and she's watching him like a hawk, surveying him. There's none of that in the book. He's not being questioned or surveyed. He's just alienated from his community because he is now enlightened to what reality is, and they are still asleep. So in the movie, he 100% relies on a chick. It's very weird. They shoehorn this love motive in, and it's basically like she is the love interest. She's the love interest in the book as well, but she never knows it. There's this whole kiss behind a waterfall. It's very weird. It's very forced. The movie is just very, very fast-paced. It skips a lot of things. It focuses on really weird things. It basically makes his friend that's like a bumbling idiot in the book, it turns him into basically a narc in the movie. And then Jonas is pretty pathetic and he relies on a girl. They have a couple like montages of different memories that are transmitted to Jonas in the movie, and one of them has different cultures, like weddings and stuff. In a special feature with Lois Lowry, the author, she goes on and on saying, "The movie did such a great job. Oh my gosh, I wish that I could just go back and rewrite the book to make it more like the movie, because I didn't include any of these other cultures, and I just really wish that I had." And I'm like, it's okay. You wrote a really, really awesome book, and just because, you focused on things like poaching elephants and sledding and war, and you didn't focus on like an Indian wedding or something, it's not the end of the world, I promise. It's gonna be okay. Um, but she really wished that she had incorporated other cultures. I don't know. I mean, the whole thing about the world of today being like non-existent, let's just focus on making your dystopian community like a thing and not worry about, being 100% liberal and inclusive. It's going to be okay. But the book was amazing. I highly suggest it. And even if, check out your local library because audiobooks are kind of expensive, you want to read it, that's cool. I don't have time. I got kids. I don't have time for that. So, I love that my library has these resources for us. I'm able to listen to books that I wouldn't otherwise be able to have the time to read. Um, and I also got this movie there, and I'm so glad I got to try it before I buy it because this movie sucks and I would not want to buy it. Don't ever watch this. I just really wanted to talk about it. So many times I watch movies and then read the book or vice versa, and I love comparing the two. I don't often get to talk about it on here because time goes on. So here we are drinking out of our Nutella mug. So that was my review of The Giver. I tried to compare and contrast the book and the movie. I don't know how well I did, but it was fun. I spent a lot of time listening to this and watching this and really thinking about it and mulling it over. It was really good. So let me know what you think. And I'm going to have more stuff coming up in the future. Who knows when, but I'm going to be doing a review of The Bug 4K from Kino Lorber, The Hunted 4K from Kino Lorber. I have more pickups coming up because I just bought some stuff. Not a lot, but I bought some stuff for Black Friday, so we'll see what we got. Let me know what you got because it's that time of year, and we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Thanks for watching this. I appreciate it. See yins next time.